Hello, this is Ann Hamlin, the Public Library Services Consultant for Wisconsin Valley Library Service. And today we're going to talk about Canva.com. Canva is a wonderful website that will help you make graphics like posters, flyers, social media, brochures. Pretty much everything that you need to create to market your library, you can do in Canva. Everything that you've been able to do in Microsoft Word or Microsoft Publisher, you should be able to do in Canva. I haven't found anything so far that I haven't been able to do in Canva. And I feel that Canva has a faster learning curve for people who are just starting out using Canva, and it's free, so there's really no risk in starting to learn Canva. And I just feel that with Canva, you can make just beautiful designs that look clean and professional, and sometimes it's hard to do that in Microsoft Word and Publisher. So before we get into the details of how to get an account and how to operate Canva, I'm going to show you a few things that I've made in Canva this year. So just at a glance here, you can tell that I made the infographic template for 2017 in Canva. And if you don't remember what those look like, I'll click into them here, but they have icons, and we can throw in our library's logos here, all kinds of text. We'll get into the stuff on the side here in a minute. This is where I also created those social media shares that you can see here, so the internet usages. You'll notice as I'm going through that the things that I've created are different dimensions and things, and we'll get into those later. What else? You can also see, I have been creating book blurbs. So I've been reading books, and then I create a book blurb, so a book review for the chosen book, and maybe a QR code to a book trailer or a video trailer with the awards here. I made a brochure for the Clark County libraries who had performers so they could all share with each other. I made a Facebook post here for our libraries, and I sent those out too, so you could put those on your Facebook headers. What else did we do in here? Social media shares are big. I've been starting to make website post slides in Canva as well, and also I've been creating prompts for play activities and learning activities in children's areas in here too, and more on those later. So you can make all kinds of things, and you can see that there's real images available in here, right, and all kinds of different text here, as well as cartoons and graphics and all kinds of color. So now let's take a tour of how to get into Canva. So this is about.canva.com, and it's going to just go through some of the things that I'm talking about with you today, giving you examples of everything you can do with it. It says it has everything you need for amazing design: images, photo filters, free icons, hundreds of fonts. That's true. Okay, so if you go to canva.com and you don't have an account, right here in the center, it'll help you get signed up. Now, it says, get the best experience by telling us what you need Canva for. So we would say that we are a nonprofit or charity, and you would sign up with your email, okay? So one thing to note about Canva here is when we click to sign up with our email, we can put all that stuff in, and you guys can navigate yourselves there. But for the nonprofit membership, you get extra features, but it's kind of hard to get. It's hit or miss. When you apply for Canva for nonprofit, you need to take a few extra steps. So in your application process, it might ask for your tax identifying number or the 501c3 identifying number. And libraries, since they go through the city, probably don't have one. Maybe your friend's organization does if they have one. But otherwise, you can just type in the comment section saying, I'm a library, we're not for profit, but I don't have 501c3 paperwork because it's through our city. And most times, they'll just grant you that upgraded membership. Now we'll go into the details later of what that upgraded membership goes into later. But I'm going to give you a tour of my free account. So this is not a Canva for nonprofits. This is just the simple free version. So first, when I want to create a design, up here at the top, it'll have examples of what we can create, right? So underneath it, when you first sign into Canva, you probably won't have any designs in here. These are the things I've created, right? So again, so let's say I want to create a flyer or something like that, and I don't see exactly what I want in here. By default, I usually use the US letter, but we can click into more and see what they have in here. As you can see, you can use a letter template. Here's a social media graphic, then there's a Twitter header, Twitter post, email header, there's a card. And you'll notice as I hover over each image, it gives me more information on the either if it's a pixel measurement or if it's inches, right? You see the US letter is 8.5 by 11 inches. The card is 7 by 5 inches. As we scroll down the page, you'll see social media posts, different makeups for that. So there's a Tumblr, there's an Instagram, documents. If you want to make a presentation, if you want to make letterhead or a magazine cover or a certificate, resume, yearbook. Let's keep going down. Marketing materials. Here's stuff for a logo, brochure, gift certificate. And we're going to keep on going. Ads. Everything is in here. You name it. So the first thing to do, let's pretend that I'm going to make a social media graphic. So I'm going to click on social media. First thing I need to do is change the name up here. So we want to say, this is Anne's Test Social Media, right? Because if you don't rename it, it'll still have that weird template name. Then let's look at the download options. Oh, we don't have anything in here. So I'm just going to throw something in there quick so then we can take a look at the download options. So if I click into the download area, you can see that you can download JPEGs, PNG, PDF, and PDF print. This shows you that you can make web-based content and also print-based content. So maybe PDF print would be used for flyers, and JPEGs or PNGs would be used for images or web-based images, right? So that's taken care of here. There is also a show team area and an order prints. You can order printed things off right from Canva instead of saving your file and sending it to Instaprint or whatever. But I suggest that you shop around if you want to order bookmarks or order any kind of marketing materials instead of just relying on ordering prints from Canva. But that's just an interesting new feature. Also, there's a share button, and when I click on share, you can post straight to social media through the share button. You can also link this to someone. Let's say that 2 library members are working on a project and they want to see the same image so they can adjust it as needed. You can share that to an email and they can edit it, or you can have it just so they view it. You can also embed your design on the web with automatic updates and no downloading required. So that means you can put it on your website and things, which is nice. Okay, you can also invite people to view or edit this design right in here. Remember, you can edit or view. So that's great. So now let's back up a second here. So now we know that we can share it with our friends or co-workers. We can download all the files we want. Let's take a step back. Let's say that I don't want to start from scratch. I need some help, right? So on the left-hand side here on your kind of dashboard, there's a link that says Find Templates. So if you have something specific in mind, you can take a look in the templates to see if they've already started building something that you would need. So I think one of our biggest examples would be infographics or flyers. Let's start with flyers. So, here's a Sweet as Candy Valentine's Day party. That looks like it would be really easy to repurpose and use for a Valentine's Day story time or something like that. Let's see here. What else do we have? Art talk. So this could be with a speaker, and you could add the speaker's photo and bio in here. All kinds of stuff here. If your library's going to have movie nights and things. So you don't have to start from scratch. Maybe this could be used for a book sale flyer. So let's click in here to edit and see if I can edit. So all kinds of stuff in here. And I want to use this one, so I'm going to, up here on the right, I'm going to say, use this template. Okay. So if I only want one page and I don't need this second page, here's a little delete button. Bing. Okay. And what I should have done first is, again, rename this, right? So that we know what project we're in, right? So you could edit this and say, gosh, what is it? It's July. So maybe you could say August 1 through 3, 2018. And then if that's a little too small, you could jump up the font size here. I want it to be all on one line, but lined up with this little design here. Maybe it's still too small, right? So you can make these small adjustments. And instead of yard sale, you want it to say book sale. Okay, and that time here looks good. Maybe our libraries aren't open that late, so we can do like 4, and we could go like 9 to 4, and again we can make this larger. Oh, 330, that's not what we wanted. Oh man, that's okay. I can do Control Z. Remember, because Control Z means undo. Please just undo that. Holy smokes. And it says stop over. That's kind of fun. But maybe we need to add the library's name. So I'm going to go over to text and Sunshine Library. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Library. And I kind of want it to use the other colors that are on the page. So I'm going to pick yellow here. And then I want it to use the same kind of font. So you'll learn these little tricks as you go on here. And I think that this date should be down here. Maybe like this. And we'll line up the font sizes, and look at that, we have a book sale flyer, right? It might be good to have the library's logo on here, so you can see that you can edit a template to get you started, and then change the things that aren't working for you. Now let's look at the elements here on the left hand side. There are free photos that you can use, which is awesome. Look at, they're just crisp, nice images. What I suggest is always using original images when you are making flyers or any kind of communications, because we kind of just know what is a real image and what's not. So instead of just putting an image of like cartoon books on here, I would suggest you upload your own photos here on the left, upload, and put your own library picture in there. So I just happen to have a picture of Gilman in here, you know, for a picture of a library, not just a generic library. But I strongly suggest, again, that you upload your logo so that you can just put your logo in here, right? I'll probably get one of those designs out of there. And here's our logo. Bang, bang. We are all set, right? The other thing to note if you do use an image, let's pretend we're going to use this image, you can edit the photo right here. You can add a filter, just like you might on your phone if you're taking a picture. I don't do too much with filters, but you can put it in grayscale, you know, play around in here. You never know what might look good, right? If you have some extra time, it might be worth playing with some filters. And you can pretty much search for anything. I'm going to search for whale. I don't know why. But look at, here are some cartoons of whales, and you can see clearly which ones are free and which ones are in the upgraded version and which ones are for cost. You can use just photos of whales, or you can use illustrations of whales, right? And it's worth it to just kind of poke around and see what's in there. Play with the different filters, maybe flip them around so they face different directions. Sky's the limit here, people, right? So those were just the photos. Then you can open up the grids so you can kind of format your ad. Now let's say we just put text here or an image here and text information, maybe a logo. That helps you with that. Using a grid for design is always super helpful. Maybe you want to put a frame over a photo, right? And so we can take a photo and put it into the frame. You notice I'm just dragging and dropping things. Super nice once you get the hang of it. Shapes, you can add in any kind of shape and change the color. I want purple, right? What else is in here? Sometimes it takes a moment for it to populate as you scroll down, but there's all kinds of shapes. You can make easily make a flower, the colors that you need. Oh, look at that's a nice little flower, some hearts. Maybe you want to block off a space on the screen for some text. There you go. Okay, let's get out of shapes. And there's some lines. Just add different design elements, right? How about illustrations? Illustrations are nice. Here's some icons. Maybe you are closed for the 4th of July, so you make some designs on, you use some of these icons on here, planets. If you know exactly what you're looking for, you can always just type it in there like I typed whale, right? And also you can navigate on this left-hand side here to your elements to try using your layouts. And again, keep an eye out for where it says free or for cost. And that goes the same in here. You can see that these ones are marked as free. Text is really nice. It has, you know, pre-made labels. I'm going to get rid of some of these things so you can see this more clearly. You know, it has pre-made font sets, so then you don't have to play around too hard with, you know, what is going to look good together. You can just, they'll make these pairs for you, and you can switch out the text. As you can see, I could write and to table, right? Okay, and backgrounds, if you don't want to have an image or anything like that, you can make a simple background. You can see that this template uses a plain purple background. Well, you can, if you would prefer to have a design in the background, you could add this design and even change the color. So if we still wanted that purple with a nice design in the background, we can do that. This is how I make some of those social media shares. I click the background I want, and then you can change the colors. There's also an undo button here up on the top left and a redo button in case you don't like the changes you make. Okay, so that was a very fast tour of how to change things up in Canva and move through Canva. So let's talk about the skills behind it. I'm going to go back to canva.com/about. Okay. Canva does a wonderful job of walking you through how to use it. Maybe that quick run through just was too much for you. Well, let's start with the basics. At the bottom of the page on the About Canva.com, there's the menu that breaks everything down for you. Okay, it walks you through, you know, the design types, templates, icons, what's allowed in there. It tells you that you can create a graph inside there if you need to for maybe an infographic or a presentation. But I want to bring your attention to this Learn column and the Resources column. Under the Learn column, they have information for nonprofits, student teachers, businesses. So it's worth poking around in here. Let's click on Design and see where it brings us. Yes, so it's talking about how to use design. So these are nice little information snippets to go through. And they're helpful if you have the time to dig in there. The most important column, I would say, is resources, because if you want to know specific things, if you want to look into font combinations, if you want to just focus in on editing a photo, it's there. If you are interested in learning about generating a palette of colors for yourself, there's a palette generator. You upload your logo. Let's try that. Let's try uploading our logo. And I'm just going to grab the logo here. So I've uploaded our logo here. Now hopefully it'll give us an automatic set of colors, and here we go. How about that? Dark salmon, light steel blue, dark sea green. How wonderful and easy was that tool? Now you know what colors to be using. Let's go back down. Now, right beneath palette generator, so beneath finding colors to be using for your library and in your flyers and everything you generate, you can learn more about just colors, right? Which might be helpful for you. Then there's a design size guide, which is very helpful when you're thinking about, well, what size do I need to have it for Facebook? Or what size do I need to have it for a flyer or a postcard? That's helpful. Now, tutorials and design courses. This is awesome. Tutorials is where you need to go. It's going to walk you through 30 tutorials. I putzed around in here and played with one. But it's going to show you how to use Canva one step at a time. It's awesome. So let's click on the Beginner's Challenge tutorial. So it's going to say, become a design pro in minutes. This 2-minute tutorial will show you just how easy Canva is to use. So scroll down to use. Click on the circle to change it to your favorite color. So I clicked on it. You'll see this option comes up here on the left. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to change it to blue or green. Here's the brand colors. Maybe I want to move it around in here, right? So let's say that this like pinky color is my favorite. 2, search for a hat and put it on this monkey. So search, and I'm going to search hat. Okay, ooh, I like the party hat. So I'm going to make the hat smaller and put it on the monkey. No, the monkey has a hat. It's really nice. And so we did one tutorial. Then it goes on to talk about branding, then layout, then images. So it really walks you through how to use Canva, and it's really wonderful. That's really awesome. So now let's talk about the difference between the free version that I have been using and the Canva for nonprofits. One of the major features is that you can resize something you've done. Let's say that you want to resize this infographic to use it on social media. Well, over here on the left-hand side, you can see this magic resize button. And it says that I need to upgrade. Well, if I don't have this resize button, then I need to recreate this design by going back, finding the size that I want, and recreating this whole design in there. Well, for Canva for nonprofits, it can just magically resize this. And that's important because if you're making a social media graphic, you should probably use that in a couple places. You can use it on social media, but that probably means that it's maybe a flyer, right? So you made a flyer and then you made a social media graphic. Well, make the flyer And then click that magic resize button so you don't have to do that work multiple times. How awesome is that? Then the other feature is you can have unlimited folders. So you can see that I have a bazillion things in here, and this is only after like 2 years of work. Okay, so on the left hand side here you can make more than 2 folders. I'm still stuck at 2, so I have a folder for all the infographics and related infographic things that I made, and then one for those talk, read, sing, play prompts that I'm making. The other major benefit is you will have more access to more free photos and more free content. So that's important. On the left hand side here you can see, like I said, you can create, you can add team members. So if you work with someone, like I work with Jamie a lot in Canva, and my office partner Rebecca, I can add them as a member of my team so that they can see all my designs. You can also see designs that are shared with you. So I've had a couple of people share designs with me, or all of my designs. So hopefully this was of help to you, and that I've convinced you to at least play around with Canva to see what kind of cool things you can create. If you have any questions about pursuing the Canva for nonprofit subscription instead of the free subscription, let me know and just give me a call or email me. Don't forget to go to the WVLS website to check out the marketing and infographic resources. On here we've created a WVLS design basics slide presentation. So you can just review what good design is and take a peek here and how to jump into Canva a little bit more. And also other design platforms, basic design elements. So we have our presentation up at the top here, and then you go down, there's other recommended resources and places to get images, fonts, audio, photos, places for social media tips and tools, and a list of, and here's all the infographics from 2016 and 2017. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have time to play around in Canva.